We're going to start off with a song that comes from the African American spirituals tradition. I've made a few adjustments on the words, which is a little part of the tradition too, but the words say basically, hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? So please, we'll be singing along in our Zoom rooms. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Do it again. Here we go. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Hush, hush, my soul be calm and still. Hush, hush, my soul be calm and still. Hush,
I've just turned on to
be calm and still. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Hush, hush, gathering strength for my task. Oh, hush, hush, gathering strength for my task. Hush, hush, gathering strength for my task. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Sing it one more time. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Amen. I saw y'all singing and swaying. Thank you so much. And welcome to the church in Ocean Park. So glad that you are here. We are a caring and interfaith congregation celebrating diversity and treating ourselves and others with respect. Our gatherings support and educate and challenge us in our relationships to ourselves, others, and the world. And we embrace creative expression. Singing at the drop of a hat. Yes, we do, at every opportunity. And working for social justice in all parts of our spiritual life together. So I'm Dr. Kim Harris, a proud member of the church in Ocean Park, and we're interfaith. You might say, and be wondering if you are welcome. Well, you're welcome if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhist, Christian, Wiccan, atheist, agnostic, or some combination of all of those, or something all else together. You are welcome. We extend a special invitation to those who are single, married, divorced, gay, transgender, who are searching, who are filthy rich or dirt poor. We extend a special invitation to crying newborns, just browsing, just woke up, or just got out of jail. We don't care if you are more religious than the Pope or haven't been to a church since your nephew's baptism. And we extend a special invitation to, my crowd, which is the over 60 but not grown up yet, or to teenagers or people who are growing up too fast. We invite you, if you are inked or pierced or both, who can't spell, or because you're bored staying home all day and are way tired of being on Zoom, but you heard that this was a strange church and wanted to check it out. And a special invitation to those who could use a prayer right now, or have had religion shoved down your throat as a kid or as an adult, or those of you who are just fine with your religious tradition, but you're also looking for a little something else. Tourists and seekers, doubters, bleeding hearts, and you. Welcome to the church at Ocean Park. One of the things that we do every Sunday, one of our rituals, is that we center ourselves using a chant from Thich Nhat. The words are, I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. And we'll chant that 3 times together. So take a breath. Here we are. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park.
I too want to welcome you. I'm Reverend Gollery McKeithan, and I welcome you to the church. I'm glad that you're here this morning, wherever you actually are, but you're here with us in community. Whatever you've brought with you, we welcome that as a part of you. We welcome many. I see some faces I haven't seen in a while, and I welcome each and every one of you. If you have been here, if you haven't been here, everybody is welcome. As some of you may know, you may hear things that you disagree with because we are interfaith. So nobody speaks on behalf of the whole church except for the administrative board. So if you hear something you disagree with, that's good. It might stretch you to think in a new way or recognize as something that you haven't thought of before. So you're welcome no matter if you disagree with somebody or you don't. And there will be time to interact as well. You can always put your thoughts in the chat, and you can always, there is a time for community sharing. And the third way is you can talk after the church service is over. Some of us hang around a little bit for fellowship. So there are ways that you can interact even though we are online. I want to begin with an acknowledgement of the land that we're on. We, the people of the church in Ocean Park, recognize that our building in Santa Monica sits on stolen land, as many of us do in our homes. To all our relations, we, the settlers of this land, honor the Thich, the Tongva, and the Chumash peoples. We are grateful for you. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, enslavement, forced assimilation, gender violence, and destruction of sacred sites, and burial of historic truth about Indigenous suffering at the hands of US colonial settlerism. We apologize for the harm by pledging ourselves to be a part of a culture of repair. Let us join our hearts to the protection of sacred sites and villages, as well as to the Indigenous people who live among us. So I want to remind you all that if you, especially if you're new, that the chat button is a very helpful way of getting to know people. So if you go down to the bottom of your screen, about in the middle, it'll say chat. We do use chat for many things. And sometimes there's individual chats, and sometimes you can chat to the whole group. So if you'd like more information, or you'd like to get to know somebody who is on the screen, you can go to the chat and just find their name and click on that, and you'll be talking individually only to that person. It's perfectly fine. It won't disturb anybody else because it's quiet. So this is kind of a interesting way that you can talk during the service without causing a commotion. So welcome to the church in Ocean Park. I'm excited today because our friend Reverend Joseph Hepburn will be speaking. He is always an engaging speaker. He has a lot of depth, and I always get to see things in a new way whenever he speaks. He's also very witty, as we all know, and he is a United Methodist elder who has been a district superintendent in the past, and then right now he's also a certified chaplain. So we welcome Joseph. He's a part of our community, but I'm just very excited that he's here. So we begin with a reading from Donna Brown, if Donna Brown is on.
So the reading this morning is Mark 1, verse 21 through 26. Jesus cast out an unclean spirit. Then they went into Capernaum, and immediately on the Sabbath, he entered the synagogue and taught. And they were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. Now there was a man in their synagogue with an unclean spirit, and he cried out, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with you, Jesus of Nazareth? Did you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." But Jesus rebuked him, saying, "Be quiet and come out of him." And when the unclean spirit had convulsed him and cried out with a loud voice, he came out of him. And that is a reading from the New King James.
Thank you, Donna.
You're
My name is
welcome.
Louise. Thank you very much. And I'm going to share a song with you that I just learned yesterday called "If You're Looking for Freedom." I put the words in the chat. And this is by John Fromer, a musician I just discovered yesterday. So, if you're looking for freedom, you won't find it alone. If you're looking for freedom, you won't find it alone. if you are looking for freedom, freedom will light your way home. Now, if you're looking for justice, you won't find it alone. If you're looking for justice, justice will light the way home. Now, if you're looking for peace, sweet peace, you won't find it alone. But if we walk this road together, peace is gonna light the way home. And if you're looking for change, real change, you won't find it alone. No. But if we walk this road together, change is gonna light the way home. If you're looking for freedom, if you are looking for freedom, you won't find it alone. But if we walk this road together, freedom's gonna light the way home. Freedom's gonna light the way home. One more time, yes. Freedom's gonna light the way home.
So today I welcome you all and thank you as well for the opportunity to share with you again today, the last Sunday of January 2021. So the theme of the message is be quiet. And it is the words of Jesus from Mark chapter 1 and verse 25 to the man who was possessed with a demon. Be quiet. I know that at this time, especially many teachers are under a lot of duress, a lot of stress. And I know that children are under maybe even greater stress because they cannot see their friends, they cannot touch their friends, they cannot play with their friends. Many of them are away from school for a long time. And so gather them around today. Let them come. And I'm going to play for them this little tune. It's a global sing-along.
3, 4.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
1, 2, 3, 4. Please be quiet. 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 Okay, I'm sorry. Thanks.
That's for all the little children and the young adults who have not seen each other for a long time, and they are coming together now to listen to this message and to fellowship with us. And to fellowship with us. I don't think so. We never say anything. So we are going to see what happens now. Okay, so be quiet. I want to say first of all that this is a word of care and caution. This man, though not fully himself, not fully well, had a gift of perception. He realizes that the congregation's lack of awareness and deceptiveness and dishonesty, and he recognizes who Jesus was. Illness, whether mental or physical, does not make us lose our connectedness with God. That's the first thing I see here. Our illnesses do not make us lose our connectedness with God. This man was mentally deranged, had 7 devils, we are told. But he said, I know who you are. I know who you are. You are Jesus of Nazareth. You are the Son of the Holy God. But do you know who these people are who are listening to you? I have a grasp of reality here. And if we are on the same page, then you must know these people who are listening to you are not genuine. They are trying to plot, they're trying to devise a way in which they could quieten you, as they quieted your cousin, John the Baptist. And remember, brothers and sisters, this is Jesus's first sermon. This is his first message. He has not even chosen all of his disciples yet. Only 4 of his disciples have been chosen so far. And he stands now in the Sanhedrin and begins his first major message. And here it is, this man stands up. You are Jesus from Nazareth. So you are here to wipe us out? Jesus was listening to him. And indeed, God hears us, because sometimes the sanity of the insane is wiser than the insanity of the sane. This man was insane, but wisdom came from his voice. Wisdom came from his understanding of Jesus. Sometimes it is even more difficult to listen to the insanity of the sane. The so-called sane people who have ulterior motives, ulterior desires. And we have gone through this ourselves. We have gone through the insanities of a sane leader for years. And Facebook said, be quiet. Twitter said, be quiet. This man was healed because of his honesty and his gift of perception and willingness to stand up for Jesus, for justice. You are the Holy One of Israel. And people will attack you from an unlikely place. Yes, you're standing in the Sanhedrin, you're standing in the temple, but sometimes we are attacked from anywhere. People will attack us from any unlikely place. The temple of your apartment, the temple of democracy. But when Jesus says, be quiet, he says it because the man not only assumes a false motive to Jesus, but he makes it public. He falsely assumes that Jesus is going to attack them and to wipe them out. Jesus just got to speak, just stood up to speak, and this man assumes that he had evil intentions. Are you here to kill us? Are you here to wipe us out? And sometimes the law falsely assumes that people of color or people of other nationalities have evil intentions as well. This is what we experience today. As soon as we stand up to speak, we have to be careful. You know, if we raise our hands, we have to be careful. If we get up to speak, we have to be careful. If we get out of our cars, we have to be careful. If we are running and our backs are to the law, we have to be careful, because maybe we have some evil intention. Maybe we have some ulterior motive behind our actions. But Jesus says to this man, be quiet. Take a moment, take a deep breath before you go any further, before you make these people in the temple react violently against me. So Jesus had to protect himself by stopping that man's trend of thought. Don't say another word, be quiet, because what you say can be used against you. We have to care for ourselves. And he therefore had to be quiet. He had to quiet this talker so that he could continue safely with his ministry. Be quiet. A word of care and a word of caution. It was Cicely Bock, B-O-K, in a book called Secrets, the Ethics of Concealment and Revelation. And she says in this book, secrecy or quietness is not always meant to deceive. Secrecy or quietness can protect moral perception and choice. Secrecy here could have protected the perception of who Jesus was. But Jesus is saying to the man, do not reveal everything about me one time. I can speak for myself. If you continue to talk like that, you will stir up hostility and jealousy. This was Jesus' first message. He was not there to talk about the messianic secret or the messianic mystery or the virgin birth. He was there simply to let the people look into themselves, for introspection, to look at their own selves and to repent and come to Jesus as a follower of Christ. And so sometimes we talk too much. You see, sometimes we gabble too much. One of our leaders' excessive Twitter overload got him into trouble. His constant needling of Sleepy Joe got him into trouble. And when we tell secrets sometimes, sometimes lies come mixed with it. Are you come here to destroy us, Jesus? Imagine that. But Jesus is not there to destroy, but to bring salvation. He says in John 10:10, I am come that you may have life and that you may live it more abundantly. He says in John 14 and verse 6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And so we have to be careful, we have to be cautious. Be quiet. This is a word of comfort. This man was marginalized and trivialized by society. He was a minority, or as one of my lecturers would say in my psychotherapy class, he was one of the non-majority. Yet he was also one to acknowledge Jesus, and because he did, it led to his healing and to his recovery. But his healing was a traumatic process. His healing was a traumatic process. And today, healing for us is traumatic in itself. Look at the many people who are down with COVID or other diseases or other conditions, divorced from their families, divorced from their relatives, from their loved ones, cannot even touch them, sometimes cannot even be near to them. Healing today is a traumatic thing. Look at the trauma that nurses and doctors and many caretakers are going through, trying to save somebody and trying to not save somebody, trying to withhold treatment. It is a crisis. It is a crisis. Yet, this marginalized man is quieted by Jesus. His healing was a traumatic process. The devil shrieked and struggled and left him. As we struggle against principalities and powers, there must be a shouting. We ought to cry out. As the pandemic shows, we ought to be in the forefront, speaking out. Recovery today is a traumatic process. We need to speak out. We need to challenge. If this man did not speak out, he would have forfeited his own healing. But Jesus knows that we know. God hears us and speaks to our need. God's word brings recognition and healing. Jesus is saying here to the man, be quiet a moment and let me deal with your inner struggle. And that is the crux of the message. Jesus is saying to us, be quiet. I know I know that you are disfigured. I know that you have an ungainly spirit. I know that you are hearing voices. I know that nothing is well within you. I know that there is turmoil outside of you and within you. But Jesus is saying to the man, be quiet. I'm going to deal with your inner struggle, with the inner voices that cause you to go astray. And this is what Jesus is saying to us, God is saying to us today. We are in our own inner struggles, aren't we not? We're in our own inner darkness. We're in an inner darkness. You see, light has speed. How far does light travel? 186,000 miles per second. Light moves. You can feel light. You can see light. You can touch light. Light affects you in your human body. But when you're in darkness, when you're in an inner darkness, when there's a darkness of the soul, darkness doesn't travel. Darkness has no speed. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. It's a void. And in that void, down in there, Jesus says to us, God says to us, be quiet. When we are challenged, look inwards. Take a deep breath. And when the body is calm, the body will say to the mind and the spirit, I am calm. And we will both be calm. The mind and the spirit and the body will be calm. In our self-care class, we are told that it is not the mind or the spirit that makes the body calm. It is the body that makes the spirit calm. So when we breathe and we calm down, and the limbic system in the body recognizes that the body is calm and controlled, the limbic system becomes calm as well. And we are able to focus and to think and to recharge and to retool ourselves. So God says, be quiet, come out of this man. The man never asked for healing. He never asked for any forgiveness. He never said he was sorry for anything. Just like the thief on the cross, all the thief said, Lord, remember me. That is all. And so we are saved by the grace of God. It is through God's grace and through his sustaining power. When we hear his word, be still and know that I am God. Be quiet and let me deal with your inner struggle and your inner voice. God is able to guide us and direct us and to enable us to go forward with confidence and assurance. I want to close with the words of Pablo Neruda, a Chilean poet who got the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature in 1971. And Pablo Neruda says it in a different way. Be quiet. This is his poem, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Now we will all count to 12, and we will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for a second and not move our arms so much. It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We would all be together in a sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and man gathering salt would not look at his hurt hands. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victories with no survivors, would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers in the shade, doing nothing. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it's about. I want no truck with death. If we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt the sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. And now I'll count to 12, and you keep quiet, and I will go. Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to you, Reverend Joseph Hepburn. That was amazing and beautiful. Now, I know you're somebody that has a wonderful sense of humor, so I hope that you can forgive my humorous song now, but it really spoke to me. So this is called the Dupsha dove, as in a bird, and it talks about the self-talk we give ourselves. And when I listened to your sermon, I thought of this song, even though I was afraid to sing it because it's a little bit humorous. But this is called the Dupsha dove. It talks about our process of self-talk. And it also mentions some birds you may not have heard of. Upon a main branch above my brainstem, there sings a Jourdain bird. You may have heard of him. He goes Jourdain, 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 that's the Jourdain bird who sings a single word. Above the Jourdain bird is a bird who lives to talk, known as the Chout-wa-hawk, the mighty Chout-wa-hawk. He warns me, chout, watch out, 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 chout, watch out, watch out. That's the Chout-wa-hawk, a bird who lives to talk. Beside the Chout-wa-hawk is a bird who needs to speak, known as the airful beak, the mighty airful beak. He warns me, careful, be 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 careful. That's the airful beak, a Dupsha dove, who has the final say, and to the other birds proceeds to sing away. She tells them to shut up, 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 shut up. Oh, how I dearly love the little Dupsha dove. And when the Dupsha dove has had the final word, she brings the Vinbury bird to join the Valkyrie bird. They whisper, then breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Oh, how I dearly love the little Dupsha dove.
Oh, thank you. That was a wonderful song. Thank you so much. And we all know Joseph has a sense of humor, so I'm not worried about that. So thank you all for, thank you, Joseph, so much for your amazing message. I loved it from the beginning to the end. But I really, what stood out to me in the beginning was talking about how everybody has, how you listen for the wisdom from people that are, that you may not expect it from. And that's been my experience throughout my life when I've been willing and, or just happened to actually listen to somebody who I thought I knew what they were going to say, or they were a person who I didn't realize would have such deep wisdom. There are some people, never write off anyone is what I understand. And also, especially the people who are somehow on the margins in whatever way, because those folks haven't sometimes been listening to in the same way as those of us in the dominant culture. So I really appreciated the fact that wisdom can come from, does come from places that we don't expect. So thank you so much. I got a lot of other things out of it too as well, but I want to go to the community.